It's part of the military persona is you got to get the job done, so you don't have time to piss moan and stuff like that. So definitely that's part of it. Because be honest, if you're fighting in contact and everybody started breaking down around you, you wouldn't get anything done, right? So you gotta suck it up and go forward. So some of our guys ended up prodding through the graves, and that really affected me. It affected my whole section because we were like, "What the fuck? Like, why don't they mark their graves? And like, how did we do this and stuff like that, right?" So that affected me. Uh, but I think by then I knew something was going on because I had the wherewithal to sit my section down and say, "Okay, guys, we got to talk about this because it's affecting people here." So whether it worked or not, I don't know. But we sat down and we talked about it, like how's everyone feel, and everyone we all felt shitty and stuff like that, right? And but then we were like, we had to do it. It was our job, It's sad, and we didn't know that the grave wasn't marked and stuff like that, right? So what we did was we all put our money together and we bought them a headstone. So that's kind of how we healed that little situation there. So that was pretty cool that we did that. This one time, the Taliban distributed toy guns to all the children. And so we'd be traveling through the villages and the markets, and they'd all be pointing guns at us. And I was just like, am I gonna have to shoot a child here? Like, I don't know if it's real or not, right? So that was a stressful time. I don't even think I'd seen anything like that on television, right? So all of a sudden you're thrown into that, and it's like, this is real life, man. Like, wow. And I was affected. Like, again, at the time I didn't realize it, but since I've progressed in my life and since I got diagnosed with having PTSD and stuff, I look back at it and I can see how my life changed, how I started abusing alcohol and stuff like that, right? Because just trying to hide things. I know there is such a stigma behind mental health right now, and PTSD in particular in the military, but I would tell them to talk to someone. It's just a buddy, even. You know what I mean? Like, because everybody's dealing with it. Some people deal with it better than others, right? But I would tell them to communicate. You gotta. And then I never did. And then I came home from there, and things started going off the rail. It was pretty bad. Yeah, I fell apart. You got to deal with it. You got to process it. You got to process these things that happen to you. Uh, Communicate. That's the big one. You can't hold it all in. It's impossible because it's gonna kill you. It's gonna eventually eat you up, and it's gonna affect your whole life. Like people get divorced. Well, like there's an extraordinary amount of divorces in the military, and it's simply because people are hurting. It's not because they don't love each other anymore. It's because they're not dealing with themselves. You got to deal with yourself. You can't blame everything on other people. Uh, get active. Get active. Don't hide in the basement. Don't hide behind your windows. Like you can't withdraw into yourself. Even though it's easy, I'm up here spouting it. I still do it. You know what I mean? Like I'm hypocritical by saying it, but don't do it. You know what I mean? Because it can kill you. communicate, live life. It's too short.